Hey everyone, it's Kevin from GetKevInsight.com. So I was just meditating. See, it's always when I'm meditating or driving or anytime you're quiet, you start to get messages and you'll get images. You could hear words, and they're like all symbols that we have to try to make sense of, right? So I'm meditating and suddenly I see The Land Before Time. And I'm like, all right, well, this is a childhood movie. So this is about childhood. And a lot of the dinosaurs in that movie, the babies, the young dinosaurs, all lost their parents, all have been deserted or abandoned, and not on purpose, but just by incidences that occurred that separated them all. And that's what this is about. That pardon me, that during childhood, those are really difficult years sometimes. And how we grow up and build our towers as adults is based off of childhoods. So certain people that may come off as flashy and everyone thinks of the world of them and everything, and it's almost like they're putting on an act. And a lot of times those people are putting on an act because they have to create, or they feel they have to create, this character to be able to survive, because that's how they were able to survive as children. So perhaps that they were abandoned as kids and now they need validation from everyone else because they never got the validation that they wanted when they were children. Same thing with bullies. That bullies need control and power. And so what are they going to do? They are going to bully others because they didn't have control in their own lives. So they have to have control or force control in other ways. Now, does this mean that people's behaviors and actions don't matter? No, of course they matter. I mean, we can't excuse people just because of terrible childhoods. But when you put the excusing aside, it's best to understand. Through understanding, we can then finally know why someone does something. Because someone just isn't the way they are just because. We are created from childhood. We are put through a series of events that force us to become who we are as adults. And sometimes that means that we build this tower, this unstable tower that isn't sustainable. And if that's the case, eventually this unsustainable tower is going to collapse. And when it does, it's a complete ego death. Everything that we have built ourselves up to be is completely shattered in an instant. This instant could feel like years. It can be anything. But eventually the unsustainable will collapse because that's just how it works. It's not our true authentic self. And our true authentic self is what our soul is always wanting us to be and become. We're meant to go through things in life that are challenging, and so that we can grow and learn from them and become stronger. But sometimes people are meant to go through, it could be lifetimes without learning and growing, that they have to go through the same things over and over again so that they can finally understand their own self-worth. And that's tough and challenging. Again, that doesn't excuse their actions or what they say that may hurt us, but it helps us to understand that everything has a root cause. Nothing is just because. Bullies are created. They aren't just bullies for fun. Things happen in people's lives and they try to deal with them the best way that they know how because they don't have anyone else to talk to about it. They have no outlet to help get rid of the pain so that they can begin to heal. So all we can do is Have compassion for those people and hope that they get the help they needed, but you don't need them in your life. So if they're in your life, toxicity is not helping you, does not belong around you, and you need to leave them behind. And they need to fend for themselves and try to figure it out. We have to protect ourselves at times. That's important that we have boundaries. But I hope this makes sense, that after you have this ego death and the tower that you've built shatters and crumbles to the ground, that you have to start over again. Rediscover who you are. Explore who you are, your true authentic self. And then you can build on such a much more sturdy ground. Build on much more sturdy ground and build upwards and upwards. And it's absolute strength rather than hiding in isolation for who you truly are. Anyway, I hope that this makes sense. I'm sending you so much love, so much strength. I've been through it myself. I needed self-validation all my life. I should have had self-validation, giving it to myself, but instead I needed it from other people. And I had to have a complete ego death and completely shut down to finally rediscover who I truly am and love who I truly am. And I'm still in that process. It's a long process. It's not easy, but I'm getting there. And so are you. And the people that you know, I hope, are getting there. Anyway, I'm sending you so much love and gratitude and light. Please like, share, and subscribe if this resonates with you. And you have an amazing day. All right, take care. Bye.